Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, this used to be your Diamond Mentor moment, but because we are launching our new training program and really just starting fresh for 2025, we are having it be our Diamond and Pearls of wisdom moment, and you're about to see why we're saying with diamond and pearls of wisdom. Pearls of wisdom are beautiful. We'll talk more about pearls and what they mean metaphorically in leadership training and in growth and in self-advancement and other advancement. I am Genein Letford, your keynote speaker on all things creativity, intercultural creativity, neurosomatic creativity, prismatic leadership. And I am so excited to be talking about our program that we are launching in 2025. The launch date is March 16th. You can join our mailing list for more information. But really, what we're talking about is a new way of learning for a new way of leading. What does that mean? Let's throw up some slides. So, our organization, and we're moving it into a nonprofit. So, my Cafe Strategies is my speaking organization, and the training for all, right, for the masses is the Lyrics and Leadership Institute. It's a wonderful organization that really looks at how the brain learns and how the brain retains information and changes behavior and really just keeping the brain healthy and fresh. We're going to be talking about some aspects of why lyrics and leadership will be the new way of learning for this new way of leading. We are looking to use iconic artists to get people excited about their brain, about learning just new creative thinking ways and keeping their brain healthy and fresh and vibrant and understanding how the brain really grows and grows neural networks and gets rid of old ways of thinking and confronts old belief systems and really just gets in this new way of thinking for this new future of work. And so, as you can see, we are using Prince, the genius. I keep hearing that word when people talk about him, the genius of Prince, but we're going to really dive in to see all the multifaceted ways that he can help us grow as leaders, the ups and downs and the all arounds. And so, one of the aspects that we get to talk about in our trainings, and you've heard me talk about it in my lectures and my keynotes, is something called brain capital. What is brain capital, and how is lyrics and leadership and even Prince going to help us increase our own brain capital? Now, brain capital sits on three pillars, but I only focus on two. Brain capital is the combination of brain health and brain skills. Brain health and brain skills, and the stats are pretty dismal with what is going on with our brain capital. Pulling information from the McKinsey Health Institute, I was at the United Nations meeting or General Assembly back in September, so I got to hear them present their new data and research, and they are saying that brain disorders, right? Let's look at brain health. Brain disorders cost the global economy $5 trillion annually, and it's expected to soar to 16 trillion by 2030. That's only 5 years away. And so we're going to talk on the next screen about what is going on with brain health and how could an artist like Prince or other artists help us with our brain health. What does that look like? But let's look at the other pillar, brain skills. Brain skills consist of your cognitive abilities, your affective abilities, which means your emotional abilities, or they say non-cognitive, which doesn't make sense to me because emotional, you're still using your brain, because emotions are founded and started and produced by the brain. But brain skills such as creativity, curiosity, resilience, adaptability, metaphorical thinking, reframing your imagination. A lot of data there with Prince and his work and other artists and their ability to use their imagination to create what they see and to create a new norm, right? And all of these areas are a part of your brain skills, right? Your ability to create, to innovate, to connect things that aren't normally connected. And so we're looking at brain capital. brain skills and brain health, and how could we use the music, the life, the lessons, the interviews of iconic artists like Prince to grow both of these areas. What does that look like? And as far as brain health, anxiety and depression are the highest factors, among the highest factors of brain health decline. So when we think about that, what are some tactics that we can do to combat these? Well, a lot of depression is dealing with a lot of it is chemical, but a lot of it is due to loneliness. We're in a loneliness epidemic. And so we're looking at how can we use iconic artists to bring people together, to bring people singing together, to bring people moving together, even if it's virtual, which we'll have some virtual courses. How can we bring them to connect with one another? What similarities do a lot of people have? They love particular artists. They love music of a particular genre, or they love just the arts overall. How could we use that to bring people together? And anxiety. What are some of the brain skills and the brain health methods that we can teach people to lower anxiety? Look at this graph. I know the text is a little bit small, but um, yeah, starting as low as 5-year-olds dealing with anxiety, and then the orange is anxiety, and the purple, I believe, is depression. And so we're trying to offer new innovative ways to deal with these brain disorders that are steadily climbing at astronomical rates. So that is leadership. That is lyrics and leadership. And next week we're going to talk about the different components of what the institute will offer. I wanted to dive into the fact that using the arts to teach leadership skills, life skills, emotional regulation skills is going to be paramount. It's going to be revolutionary because we know that the arts came first. There's a lot of research in the neuroscience, and I shared some clips in our in sync page, the International Society of Neurosomatic Creativity, International Society of Innovation through Neurosomatic Creativity page, in sync. And we were looking at how, evolutionary wise, the arts were laid down first, even before language. So we have to understand that if the arts were with us first, the arts should be with everyone during their development at every stage of life, and especially during their stages of growing new behavioral and leadership and life skills. The work from Dr. Michael Tout out of University of Toronto, he spoke at the Music as Medicine Summit with the NIH and the Kennedy Center, and he basically said, the arts allow the human brain to learn abstract and symbolic thinking. That is key. The arts allow the human brain to learn symbolic and abstract thinking. And so when we keep that in mind, your top creative leaders are the ones who can think abstractly and think symbolically and make connections from areas that are not normally seen as connected, right? And he also points out people are doing this at the highest level of complexity. So your brain has to be very well connected, right? Your corpus callosum is very important to strengthen that area, strengthen your brain areas. What are ways that we can do this? It's through the arts. It's through using music and producing music and listening to music. All right. And the second point he talks about is the ability for abstract and symbolic thinking are prerequisites for complex cognitive development. Wow, that's huge. If I want leaders in my workforce to have complex cognitive development, their ability to think abstractly and symbolically is key. What are ways that we can develop that? Through the arts. The arts are riddled with symbolic thinking and abstract connections. And the other one is, let me see. The other one is that art is an aesthetic expression of the cognitive ability to construct symbols that communicate meaning. When I'm walking down the streets of New York and I see beautiful just statues, I actually, stop and I'm like, "Hey, what does that mean? What is that communicating to me? What could the artist have been thinking when they created it?" There was a wonderful statue when I was going down to Grand Station, and the core of the statue, this person of a man, was gone. And I was like, well, what does that mean? Like, what could that mean to me? And thinking about the story, right? We're big into narrative, we're big into storytelling. How can we use art to grow those storytelling skills? And so, communicating meaning is critical in leadership and in this future of work, especially with AI coming on the scene and taking a lot of the mundane jobs. Dr. Michael Tout also talks about the three major language codes. He's talked about literacy, your ability to read and things like that, numeracy for math and quantities. And then he adds artistry. Artistry is a key code, language code for your brain. So that's images, symbols, and aesthetics, right? The frequencies, your music, your singing, your movement throughout space. And so he claims that full cognition emerges in the joint interaction of these languages. And so, if we're teaching leadership skills and self awareness skills and emotional regulation and other soft skills, I don't call them soft skills, they're essential. Isn't it a great way, an important way, a critical way to bring in the arts to do this? Because the arts are needed for full cognition through the interaction of all of these. Sadly, in K-12, we tend to lean towards literacy and numeracy. Numeracy, you have reading, you have math, you have science. Sometimes you have social studies and history, but the artistry is left out. And like a tripod, you need all three legs. And that's why I think we have a lot of people walking around with two-legged tripods, because the artistry training wasn't there. The symbolic and abstract training through the arts was omitted from their educational experience. And so healthy brains are creative brains, right? And when I say creativity, I don't just mean artistry. Creativity, your ability to think of new ideas and your ability to offer these new ideas into your own life and the workspace. Healthy brains are creative brains, brains that get to think creatively and get to produce new things and have to combine things and see what things mean. You're actually working out the muscle, right? The muscle of your brain. You're making new neural networks and giving your brain the exercise, the thinking exercise that it needs. And creativity builds healthy brains. So healthy brains, right? When we look at depression and anxiety, dementias, and just stress, not cognitive, chronic stress, how that lowers the health of our brains, which affects our creativity. Now, when we look at being creative, that increases the health of our brains, because we're asking our brains to do work that it isn't normally routinely asked to do. And so we can build the skills of the 21st leader by using the arts, by using famous, iconic artists that you already know and love, but looking at them through another facet, through a deeper way. Creativity, curiosity, communication, resilience, regeneration, adaptation, and a new term, transcendent thinking. The arts create and strengthen transcendent thinking. Transcendent thinking is your ability to step back and really see the connections and really see how it applies to your life. We'll be talking a lot more about that, about how we're going to launch with the music and the work of Prince to increase transcendent thinking in your own life. And so that is Lyrics and Leadership. You see our website down there. We are launching our first mini course that anyone can access on lyricsandleadership.org very soon, within the month of February. And then we launch in March. And it's an affordable program. It costs more to take your family of four to a fast food restaurant a month than it does to join us. And we have some of the top facilitators and teachers from around the nation. But I'm going to show you our promo video just to let you know more about the program. But we need a new way of learning for a new way of leading. So check this out. Get ready for a new way of learning, for a new way of leading.
The top leaders today, they know how to improvise, adapt, and have flexibility. With the influx of AI and machine learning, developing your people skills, emotional tools, and creativity is now top priority.
It is, and that's why we're so excited to be launching the one-of-a-kind Lyrics and Leadership Institute that uses the work, songs, and life lessons of famous artists to build your 21st century leadership skills.
And who should launch this initiative? No other than the genius of Prince.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life.
Hi, I'm Genein, the co-founder and co-director of the Lyrics and Leadership Institute. And I'm also the inaugural winner of the Grammy Museum's Educating Through Music Award, the 2015 California Charter School Teacher of the Year, and the winner of the Los Angeles Music Center's Bravo Arts Award for using the arts to teach academic and life skills. So this is my jam.
And I'm Keely Kauki-Molde, the co-director of the Lyrics and Leadership Institute. I'm an international dancer, choreographer, actress, and producer. I've worked with artists such as Justin Bieber, Snoop Dogg, and Janet Jackson, and I've appeared on Dancing with the Stars, So You Think You Can Dance, and I was on Legally Blonde, just to name a few.
You've been busy.
Yes.
So because of our extensive background in brain-based teaching and interactive corporate training, we understand the needs of the workforce to equip people like yourself with the top 21st century leadership skills, such as
Creativity,
curiosity,
adaptability,
emotional intelligence,
growth mindset,
self-awareness,
and resilience.
But the normal lecture style training, the boring voiceover PowerPoints, they're just not cutting it.
Yeah, they're just not working. And that's why we've created these fun arts-based interactive courses. So you can learn these vital skills in a deeper, more meaningful way.
From artists you already know and love.
We have some of the nation's top teachers, facilitators, and artists here for you. And it's for everybody. It's not just for corporations and universities. Everyone is welcome.
Everyone. And in response to the loneliness epidemic and the need for connection, we're also building a community of people who love the featured artists, such as Prince. And they also love to learn, to grow, and become more creatively successful.
So how are we doing this?
Good question. I'm glad you asked. We have online courses, arts-infused conferences, and a network of communities for lifelong learning, growth, and brain health.
And all of this is driven by the work of famous artists.
Like Prince.
Wait, I could learn professional and personal skills by dancing to Prince and singing to Prince and then learning about his lyrics in new ways?
Why, yes. Yes, you can.
And are these online courses and the learning community just for people who really love Prince?
No, not exactly. If you've loved Prince since his very first album, before I was even born, then yes, of course, this institute is for you. But if you kind of know a little bit about him and only maybe sing to his very top songs like Purple Rain in 1999, then this learning experience is also for you as well.
And even if you have no idea who Prince is, but you just really love learning new things in new ways to increase your self-awareness, creativity, and your brain health, then this community is also for you.
Come join us to hear your favorite songs, plus also hear songs you've never heard before, and learn from the stories about his life, his struggles, and his triumphs, and of course his leadership that will help you upskill in this new future of work.
So stay connected, because in February, we're introducing this unique program with a free course,
which teaches leadership skills from Prince's Super Bowl halftime show, just in time for the 2025 Super Bowl.
So join our mailing list to be a part of our very first Lyrics and Leadership community. Let's get ready to learn, grow, and go crazy.
We'll see you in class. All right. right. So we are so excited for the Lyrics and Leadership Institute. We hope that you will join us, join our mailing list to stay up to beat with what's going on and with the research coming out, the neuroscience research, the leadership research, and when we launch courses using songs of iconic artists to grow our skills in emotional regulation, self-awareness, creative thinking, curiosity, resilience, and of course, just team building and working with others. It's really essential skills that we need as AI comes up and all the technologies coming up. We really need to remember what it's like to be human, but also the same courses that will help with our brain health, help us understand how do we deal with the sleep and nutrition and stress reducing methods in order to keep our brain as healthy as possible. But we learn all of this through the music and the work and the lessons of iconic artists who make it fun to learn. So stay connected, and we'll see you next time for our Diamond and Pearls Wisdom of a Moment. Talk to you soon, and keep